Welcome to episode 3. We did it. And Noah's upset because he's not watching college boys playing football.
Basketball. Yes. Against his will, episode 3. I admittedly enjoyed the first 2 episodes more than I thought I would. Today I am quite literally podcasting against my will. It is March Madness. The games are beginning very soon. While this pod is happening, the games will begin. This morning, I told Esther I'm down to do the pod, but let's do it as soon as I do school drop off. 8 a.m. I didn't tell her why. I was just let's get it out of the way early. And she was so excited. And then when she found out why I wanted to podcast early, she was quite irritated.
I was certain it was he's trying to write. He's trying to get things in. He's writing me a birthday card. He's doing all this homework for the child. He's got.
Wait. Was that a subtle shot at the fact that I did not write you a birthday card? Because first of all, in lieu of a birthday card, the reason I did not write you a birthday card is because you were out of town for 3 days, and my birthday gift to you, aside from providing the sound bath and the dinner for 11 women, was solo parenting for 3 days, which is the nicest birthday. Anytime you want to skip writing me a card and just give me 3 days off of parenthood, I'll take that deal.
That's fine. I don't need a card.
Yeah, it seems like it. Look, I'll admit, mea culpa. I should have written a card. I 100% should have written a card. But I even said when you got back, I was I'm so sorry I haven't written you a card yet. I really haven't had time. And you're it's fine. I don't need a card. I should have written a card.
When you marry for love, you marry a writer, you marry an artist, you can say to yourself, what I will get is good cards.
Here's the thing. I come from a family where birthday cards are such a big thing.
They are the card family.
Every member of my family writes 2 or 3 cards. There has to be at least
funny, a sentimental,
and there has to be a funny, and then sometimes you'll get a third, which is either another sentimental or another funny.
Single-handedly keeping the card business alive.
Truly, Hallmark should be called Garden Sorts. I'm pretty sure we are funding the industry. I've always hated that about my family. The cards are nice. I love it, but I don't like feeling beholden to buying and writing X amount of cards for everyone's birthday. So perhaps this was a subconscious adverse reaction.
You're trying to be like my family who texts happy birthday correct. And then Venmos.
But let me just start by saying I apologize. I should have written you a birthday card.
Your birthday is like
I love
an Italian
you. You're
wedding.
The best wife. You're the best mother. Couldn't do it without you. You make my whole world.
Eye contact?
No. Now that's a bridge too far.
Your birthday felt like an Italian wedding because one by one family members came down and they just they threw a card in front of you.
Put
threw
your envelope
a
offering.
card. And I was oh my God. And then there was a pile of cards this high.
But those envelopes are not filled with money, just with people
love,
pouring their hearts out.
Emotional.
One cardboard page
Make
at
me
a time.
proud, the devoted husband and wonderful brother.
Let me tell you what I did do for you. Instead of buying a birthday card, I turned off the AC in the house so that we could do this podcast. It's going to be 95 today in Vegas.
Noah does 0 setup work, which we've agreed is part of our shtick.
I will not apologize for it because that was one of my stipulations. I think you are entitled to not help if you make it clear.
All good. He also not only doesn't want to deal with anything, that's fine. He wants the house to feel like the Titanic, where I'm literally getting hypothermia as I am plugging in lights.
I told you I was going to be blasting the AC up until the minute we start recording because I will turn off the AC once we start. And I got to tell you, I'm already feeling the dew, the beads of sweat on my forehead.
I am a shivering chihuahua. Just. Are you ready, sir? Anyways, we famously are not the couple that hates each other.
No, I love you to death. I love you,
But we did get you a buzzer.
We did. Yes, this is
because Noah there are certain things he doesn't want to talk about. And the only way I could get him to sit here and podcast is if I go around his boundaries. And I think boundaries are good.
Yeah. So for instance,
this is a boundary.
One of my things was this isn't going to be a parenting podcast. We're not going to talk about our kids. So
Moses lost a second tooth.
Well, first of all, that's not even correct. He lost a fourth tooth. His brother knocked it out while you were gone. It's the second tooth his brother punched out of his mouth, but it's not the second tooth.
I meant Moses lost a second tooth via little brother punching out.
He has 4 teeth gone. All 4 come with a weird story. 2 of them he swallowed
in the middle of the
night. 1 in his sleep, 1 while eating dinner, and 2 have been punched out by his younger brother. But I'm already hitting the button. No kid talk. You said as we were starting to record off camera, you said you feel like we're both a little bit grumpy this morning, which is fine. We're allowed to be grumpy.
I am in my luteal phase.
Oh my God, this.
So that hormonally, I'm on a roller coaster, and that's science.
Sure. I'm not here to argue whether or not a luteal phase exists. Obviously it does, because it is very much in the zeitgeist as your Instagram DMs to me.
We're done.
Thank you. Okay, so last week you were gone because you went to Texas to do your taping, which went great. Apparently, I heard that you crushed it, so good for you.
Look out for those clips.
But the day of the taping was not, or no, not the day of the taping. The day of travel leading up to the taping was not ideal.
My
correct?
travel day was my birthday, which you can relate to.
Yes, but traveling on your birthday, never that fun. But aside from that, what was the issue? TSA lines?
I was ready for like TSA nightmare because I kept hearing TSA. I flew by TSA pre-check like I was in Mission Impossible. Everything was so smooth. And then I get to the hotel and the only thing I had was drinks at 4:00. Shout out to Shy with my friend. And I was really excited about. And I get to the hotel 20 minutes early. Sometimes they can check you in 20 minutes early.
What people on the pod might not know, because we're going to cut out what was just an argument about Esther telling a quite long-winded story about something I wasn't particularly engaged in. Afterwards, she said, "I apologize. That's a phone call to my sister." That's a wonderful phrase. I love that. From now on, do I have your permission from now on, when you are giving me a little bit too much detail,
sure,
to just say, "Hey, that's a phone call for Jacqueline"?
That's a phone call for Jacqueline.
And what would you like to say to me if I start talking about sports or the stock market?
Ooh, that sounds like an hour back text.
Okay, fair enough. So we each have the go-to person where when we don't...
That's a Shayna call. You have your sister to talk about
when
sports
we don't
with.
actually give a shit about what the other person is talking about, instead of being bad to ourselves by pretending to care, or instead of being unkind to each other by being rude and just saying, "I don't care," we can say, "That's a Jacqueline phone call. That's an hour back text." I love that.
Or a Shayna call.
Yeah.
Your sister is a great, like, she loves sports. You guys vibe.
That's a great shorthand. That's a good couples tip. I apologize for cutting off your story and telling you that it was not doing it for me. I am admittedly grumpy this morning.
We are committed to being an entertaining podcast.
Yes.
We are not going to be, we are committed to doing things that are fun, light, entertaining, and bringing joy to the world. So that is our mission statement.
Yes. And so with that said, can I complain about why I'm grumpy this morning?
Yes. It kind of reminds me of the MTV show Next. A little bit of our podcast is a slight MTV show Next, where when one of us is like, "It's just not working for me," it's like, "Next."
Oh, so now you're getting in on the buzzer. The buzzer you bought for me for my boundaries has now become your way to move on from my stories. I like it. You have every right to use the move on button.
I'm just saying that it's a next situation.
Okay. Well, I did wake up grumpy this morning because I slept poorly and I woke up with a crick in my neck. I am in a decades-long battle with pillows. I don't know how you seem to be able to fall asleep on any bed you've ever laid down on with any pillow you're given. Within 5 minutes, you fall asleep and you sleep for 10 to 12 hours if uninterrupted. I cannot sleep, and I have such bad luck with pillows.
What if we're blaming the pillow and it's sleep apnea? What if we're blaming the pillow and it's looking at screens before bed? And maybe it's other things, but also maybe it is pillow.
No, there's a variety of contributing factors to me being bad at sleeping, but the pillows are their own isolated incident. And here's a real champagne problem thing. I realize I'm complaining about having a cleaning lady, But when our cleaning lady comes, she washes the pillows. Sure, she washes the pillowcases. All of our pillows are kind of the same. We have like 7 or 8 pillows. They're all the same, but there's like 2 or 3 that for whatever reason are the least shitty of the 7 or 8.
You're OCD and I'm not, so your cleaning lady needs to be OCD.
Well, when she changes the pillowcases, she just puts pillowcases back on the pillows willy-nilly, and I lose track of which 2 or 3 of our shitty pillows actually work for me, and it takes me another week to identify which combo of the least shitty pillows work for me to sleep, and by the time I figure it out, the cleaning lady comes again and rearranges the pillow.
You just need to put a little kid sticker on it, like it's a birthday party and you're trying to figure out which is your cup.
By the way,
didn't I send you something that Japan's always ahead of everybody,
yes.
but they have like a store where they measure your neck and the height and this and that,
Yeah,
and then they
so
design
it would
a
be
pillow.
great.
We need to go to Japan, stay at a 5-star hotel. No, we'll go to Japan and we get you like fitted for like a custom pillow.
This is your pitch to go on a Japan vacation, which I don't hate. But yes, in a perfect world, I would fly to Japan and get this custom-made pillow. Until then, I'm just going to wake up grumpy every now and again with the inability to turn past 30 degrees to my left.
I would watch NBA players talk about their sleep. Like I would watch Shaq talk about how big his bed is, what pillow he uses.
See, you finally found something sports related I have no interest in.
Oh,
I would
because they're
watch
big
that.
dudes. Like I think another thing is like you're a big guy, so you're like, I need a king size bed and stuff like that. And then we go to a friend's house and they're like, would you guys like to share our twin bed? And you're like, we have to leave. But it's I think it could be that big guys are not comfortable ever.
That's quite possible. The world was certainly not made for big men. I'm not going to complain about all the advantages that big men have in the world.
But your legs get very, very cramped on an airplane.
Cars,
I don't.
airplanes. The world was not set up for people
this is like-
my size.
Your friend Eli's way taller than you.
All right, calm down. Way taller. He's way taller. He's 6'8". He's way taller than everyone.
Yeah,
but
so
yes,
he's way taller than you, and he.
really doubling down.
No, listen. You told me about him hitting his head. Like
Yes.
if Eli was in like The Office or something, there would be just like a scene of bloopers, a montage. And describe to me the montage you've witnessed of this 6'8" guy.
I can't even focus on Eli's head hitting montage because I'm worried that on camera, and I certainly feel that I'm just like pouring sweat. Is my forehead just drippy and shiny? Because ever since you made me turn off the AC,
Not even a little bit.
I am so hot and sweaty. How are you existing in this house right now? How
I'm
are you?
still cold.
You're cold.
I'm cold.
Right now, you're cold.
Please describe the Eli montage.
It's
It's a 6'8" man.
It's a scene of him getting off a plane, but he's wearing a hat so he doesn't see how low the plane is, and he hits his head on the other side of the plane door. It's a scene of Eli in a hotel shower where he's not familiar with the dimensions, and he bends down to wash his legs with soap and hits his head on the soap tray on the side of the shower.
You guys were in a place that like literally the entrance was too short. It was like a tunnel thing. Everything feels like a tunnel. You're just like, oh, right this way, table for 2. And he's like, okay. Like it's just constantly crashing.
So
it's funny, right? Or is it sad?
Neither of the two. I mean, it's definitely funny when he hits his head in real time. I don't know if this is fucked up of me. I take such joy and pleasure in other people's mild discomfort. I never want to see people actually hurt. I never want to see people actually sick. But when people have small, very easily to recover from injuries or inconveniences, it tickles me deep in my soul in a part that I'm not proud of. Like my friend Ashish one time got a nasal surgery for breathing, and he had the cotton stuck up his nose for a day, and he sent me a picture, and I could tell how miserable he was with the cotton shoved up his nose, and I laughed for a week straight. Anytime I looked at the picture, it just made me crack up. I don't know.
Hilarious. Women do not have that kind of sense of humor, exactly.
You think women across the board just don't delight in other people's mild inconveniences?
No, not mild inconveniences.
Okay.
That's a male humor.
Maybe. So if you see someone slip and fall, you're not laughing as long as they're not truly injured?
So, speaking of which, I almost slipped and fell. I think a slip and fall can be funny depending on the person.
Okay, so women do.
I saw a very old person fall, and I was horrified.
Oh, I thought you were about to say I saw an old person fall, and that was funny. I was like, oh, that's what you're
It was actually at the Sphere. It was at the Wizard of Oz Sphere, and someone like fell, and then the daughter was like, "It's fine. It happens all the time. Keep going."
People do not need to go to the Sphere. But wait, where did you almost slip and fall?
This is funny. I was at my taping and we were there. The call time was 2:30 and we were shooting at 7. Kind of an aggressive call time. So like we live in this venue for a while. So I'm living in this venue. It is pitch black. We do lunch, we do food, whatever. There was one point where I had to get on stage to take pictures with the microphone. Whatever. And as I'm walking on stage, there's like boxes everywhere and I tripped and I was in heels. And what I did is that I'm kind of a yogi person. I tripped and then I like flung up and then I started to like skip and prance and I thought no one was watching, but I still performed as if I had an audience. And then someone on the side was like,
wait, but were you doing that for yourself just to be silly, or you were trying to truly play it off like you didn't slip and fall?
No, everyone knew this chick with her hair done and her makeup did in high heels was about to fall and eat shit, but I fell into
a graceful performance.
Silly ballet.
Good for you.
And everyone was laughing. And by everyone, I mean 2 people, but the 90 other people were not paying any attention to me.
Tell me more about the taping in the venue, because we got a call from a friend ahead of time who was just like, hey, I just want to give Esther the heads up. It's not like the greatest room to perform in. So was it as bad as you were expecting, or did that heads up make you actually a little bit more at ease? Because once you got there, you're like, oh, it's not as bad as I was expecting.
What's hilarious is I was asked this a couple times, how long have you been doing comedy? Which is a real rookie question.
Sure.
And I said 20 years and whatever. 20 years into comedy, my expectations are so low. When I got in, I thought I was in a palace. I was like, this is 1 trillion times better than I thought it was going to be. Because
so the venue was good.
the venue wasn't good. I just thought
still,
I was
not good, but still 100 trillion times better than you were expecting.
I thought I was going to walk into a circus tent infested with fleas with like someone on a fucking bouncy ball telling me to take my top off.
No, I'm performing there tomorrow night.
Yeah. And so I was like, a roof?
Yeah. Oh my God. The bare minimum is required for comedians to be
I
like,
was like, you guys, I'm a princess. There was a green room we were told we weren't allowed in because the crews were in there and the director was in there.
Wonderful. Here's the green room. You can't go in there. Yeah. Love that. Love that.
And they're
Welcome
like,
to the venue.
and then there's a bathroom, which is for everybody. And I was like, this is amazing. There's a bathroom, a green room we're not allowed in. And they even had a bag of Doritos for snacks. And I was like, you people, I'm a queen of queen. And I was like delighted by the fact that there were water bottles.
I also, I don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring you. I can't look at you for most of the stories you're telling because of this crick in my neck. I just want to,
which makes me funnier.
Put out there.
The harder the audience, the funnier I am.
Oh, okay.
These audience were lovely and kind. It was a mix of all kinds of Austin people. They didn't know who I was because they live in Austin. I didn't really know who they were, but then I met this one guy from Miami and I'm like, you're from Miami? I have a friend in Miami. Really silly to say that. I have a friend in Miami. He said, who? I said, she's a pop star. She's a Latin pop star. He goes, who? I go, Kat Dahlia. He goes, I went to high school with Kat.
Oh, he actually did
Are
know
you
her.
kidding? Poker night. Tell her I miss. And I was like, this is hilarious.
Wow.
A swing and a win. When you say I know one person in Miami.
A swing and a win?
A home run? A swing and a miss is usually the.
When you don't. So
why not a swing and a win? Swing.
It's just not a phrase.
Sports.
Anyway,
sports.
sorry. Go on. Kat Dahlia, poker
But it's
night.
funny when you're like, oh, you live in Philadelphia? I have got one friend in Philadelphia.
That typically
like,
works.
I know you.
Jewish geography is a thing. That typically works when Jews find out someone lives in a city and they know a Jew in that city and they say, do you know? 9 times out of 10, you do know
He's my
them.
pediatrician.
But yeah, just knowing one Latina in Miami and actually having it be known, that's more impressive. That's a swing and a win. So...
But
Cool.
yeah, anyways, taping went well. And then afterwards I went and saw a concert for like
Blues
South
Traveler,
by
huh?
Blues
What a
Traveler.
throwback.
Now, OnlyFans gave us merch. So I put on the OnlyFans hat. I said, is this hat weird? My friend Shai said, don't worry. Everyone's in branded merch. It's South by Southwest. Everyone's wearing whatever they're supposed to be wearing. So I'm wearing OnlyFans. It took a whopping 4 minutes. And I'm in line at a bar, which is really like an Airstream, and grabbing a drink. And a couple of guys came up to me and said, "Are you an OnlyFans model?"
Well, what did you think was going to happen? You're a gorgeous woman who's in full hair and makeup wearing an OnlyFans hat. That would be like a 7-foot-tall black guy wearing a basketball jersey and then getting annoyed if he goes out to a bar and people are like, "Do you play basketball?" It's like, you're wearing the uniform.
And
That's
he
what,
smacks his head on the bar.
Yeah, and it's my friend Eli. And
So much taller than you.
wait, going back to Blues Traveler, which is such a random band to get to go and see in 2026, is their lead singer still very fat?
I mean, yeah, but I don't know about still. I didn't know he was a person. I thought it was just a song on the radio.
That was like the whole thing. At least in the like mid to late 90s, the whole thing was like, wow, this gigantic fat guy is really good at the harmonica. Blues Traveler.
He was mildly fat. I mean, it was Texas.
No.
He didn't stand out.
Wow.
It's not like, no, in America,
No,
if you're like,
there was nothing mildly fat about him back in the day. So if you are describing him as mildly fat, even in the sea of orcas apparently that populate Texas, then I would say
like big Vegas and be like, did she have big boobs? I'm like, I don't know. She needed a shopping cart to push them around, but medium compared to everybody else at Lifetime.
So it sounds like, I think his name is John Popper. Does that sound right?
Yes.
I think John Popper
he was wearing
lost some
kind of
weight.
a fur jacket, and I was like, I would kind of slay in that jacket. He looked cool. He had some rings. One of the
he
songs,
switched up his whole vibe because the other thing he was famous for was like a fishing vest with just rows
in
of
the
harmonicas.
40 years, he gave
He's
away
changed
the
his
fishing
style. He
vest.
lost 200 pounds, gave away the vest. He got mildly
He
skinnier,
wore
started
rings.
putting on
Now
fur.
metal fits on his fingers. And he was phenomenal. I felt like I was in front of an artist, and then he stopped the song to do the other song, and he starts being like funny, and I was like, and
When you, as a comedian, when you see performers being funny or attempting to be funny in between what they do, what are your thoughts?
well, I feel like they're giving what would bomb at a comedy club is now getting like a round of applause, a sea of laughter, because he said, whoops-a-daisy.
Right. So
He said butt cheeks, and
you-
everyone was like, whoa.
are you
And I always
annoyed?
look at a
Are
friend
you
and go,
annoyed that he's getting cheap laughs?
no, because I always look at a friend and go, he's killing.
No.
And then I get a laugh. I'm not annoyed they're getting cheap laughs, because if I was doing comedy and then randomly it was like,
It's so funny.
With the harmonica.
Your dad, who was an aspiring comic in the 80s that wishes he became a comedian, I've seen him get visibly annoyed in synagogue when the rabbi gets cheap laughs at the sermon. Your dad will give me looks like, oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Can you believe they're eating this shit up?
well, then the Southwest flight attendant was doing her Chappelle special. And I was
Southwest is famous for having stewardesses.
Can they pay me to punch up the script?
Here's the thing. Nobody wants it. Punched up or not. No one wants a performance from them. I feel like the public has spoken, and what we want is close the doors as fast as possible, get this flight off the ground.
Blah, blah, blah. If it crashes, we're all fucked.
And let everyone be heard from as little as possible. The pilot, the flight attendants, your fellow passengers. My ideal airline would be Silence.
Silence and legroom.
Oh, my God. That should be the name of... You give me an airline called Silence and Legroom. You can charge me whatever the hell you want for a ticket. I'm flying you.
Amazing. I want Def Comedy Jam and Cramped AF.
It was
for
a movie called
discount ticket.
It was a movie called Soul Plane.
Yeah.
All right, let's do This Week in Vegas. Did you pull up any interesting news stories?
So I am actively hunting for like good news stories, and this is where we're at. Pink is probably going to be performing at the Sphere and doing
I
a
saw
residency, which would make herstory of the first female performer at the Sphere. That's literally the top headline.
I know. So I saw that headline. Here's the thing. I love Pink, and I'm not here to poo-poo anyone's famous herstory. The Sphere has been around for like, what, a year and a half, 2 years? So like, is it that groundbreaking or is it that big of a deal after the Rolling Stones and the Grateful Dead and
Eagles
had their residencies? It's like,
finally.
Okay, so the fourth artist, yeah.
The Backstreet Boys. I mean, there is a good amount, but good for Pink because she does a lot of like aerial silks and spins upside down.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be a Cirque du Soleil performance. All my yoga teachers will be cast in this because they're all ex-Cirque.
I'm sure Pink will put on a great show, and I'm sure many old people will go and fall while watching her at the Sphere.
Jewish and not the old people, Pink.
Oh, no. Also the old people. If it's old people falling in the Sphere, they're going to be Jewish.
So Zendaya, to promote her new movie, shows up at a pop-up wedding chapel in Vegas. And by the way, Vegas has like some of the best wedding laws and the best annulment laws. What a way to make yourself the #1 wedding destination.
Well, sure.
Just loosen up all the laws.
That's pretty well known.
Do you have a pulse? Get married.
When Elvis is the one marrying you, you better have some loose laws around it.
It's always fat
An Elvis impersonator. Yeah. Wait, is her new movie marriage related, Vegas related?
I think it's marriage related. She signed a couple's marriage license. So like,
oh, cool.
I've seen this done as a promo where like, I feel like it was done with the other movie that got the Oscar about a hooker she was in Better Things. She's the daughter of, she's a Nepo baby.
Oh, Mikey Madison.
Yeah. I think they did the promo at a wedding chapel. Get married in Vegas. Celebs might come just to promote their film.
Wait, but just to be clear, I don't think Mikey Madison is a Nepo baby.
You know what?
I think you're confusing her with Pamela Adlon's daughter.
Mikey Madison, you queen of queens. My bad. Pamela is your fake mom from Better Things.
She was so good at being Pamela Adlon's daughter that you were convinced.
Odessa Ozion.
Got it. Now we find out Mikey Madison is like the daughter of billionaires or something.
Yes, might be. Okay, and then there's one more thing in other than a bunch of crime. The other thing is that the city approved an Electric Daisy concert EDM parade. We're the only city that would approve a rave parade.
I feel like that was a word salad I don't even fully comprehend. What do you mean they approved a parade of an EDM festival? Isn't the EDM festival essentially what? It's just that now the EDM festival is going to wander through the streets?
City.
Like a New Orleans style, just like moving band walking through? All right.
Tourism is hurting. Get a bunch of women wearing like neon pasties, furry boots on Molly, and just parade them through the city. People in Minnesota are going to start booking their flights. I don't know. And then I also was like in the car and on the radio, it was like sober at Encore Beach Club. So they're trying to do the Daybreak, which is sober dancing, sober parties.
I've never been less attracted to an event in my life. And I'm not even a big drinker. It's not like I love drinking or dance parties, but the thought of a daytime sober dance party.
That excites me. I would love a daytime. What
about that excites you?
Because it's not popping bottles. It's people who just want an ecstatic dance. It's like, get your groove on without the idea of like, but you need to be inebriated. Let's get you drunk. And instead you're just feeling the music in the middle of the day, which is the best time to dance.
I feel like there are certain...
We don't like the same things.
Places, there are certain places or events where I can already tell I would be so annoyed by the vast majority of the clientele.
Like, guys that are sober who've done work on themselves. You're like, I want no part of that.
Stay far away. It's like how you try to get me into yoga when we were in Brooklyn, and the yoga itself, even though I wasn't thrilled with, I've said before, I admit it did feel better for my body afterwards. I was so annoyed by the other people in the yoga class that I stopped going. And I feel like if I went to
because
a date...
they were crying.
They were crying or sniffing or requesting. It was a nightmare. It was a
That doesn't
nightmare.
happen at every yoga class.
Oh,
The
but
one-
it does.
the
Oh, but it does. You
one
show me.
yoga class, I asked you to come with me to yoga class, and the guy he sits right next to Noah, spewing bodily fluids.
You have to know. You have to know if you're going to attend.
Crying like a sprinkler. all
If you're
over
going to
Noah.
attend a pay what you want Brooklyn yoga class, you're going to get a dude crying.
Your favorite yoga class was Meditation Mountain in Ojai, which was so
Yes.
quiet you could hear all the old
60-year-old
people.
women. Yes. I
The
just want.
bones.
All I want is a silent room of old people who also want to be left alone.
So that everyone's bones can crack in unison.
That's fine. Bone cracking is a sound I'm fine with if it's involuntary, if you just can't control it. We had to pause because the camera shut off because it got overheated. And you said me and the camera are on the same temperature where I was about to tap out of the podcast as well. So
Yeah, I actually think the reason that movies take so long to make is because the cameras get overheated.
yes, but yeah, that was a fun This Week in Vegas segment. Now,
Yeah, the news of our city is ridiculous.
well, as far as Vegas news ridiculousness goes, Pink being a headliner, people wanting to do a dance party, and there being a traveling EDM festival. I feel like that's pretty actually
Yes,
tame
but
for Vegas.
compared to other
I might have to take
places.
over the This Week in Vegas news desk. I might have to be the one responsible for some headlines next week. I guess we'll get into Joke Yard in a second, but there is one thing I wanted to address. I woke up this morning to, thankfully, something that does not happen often. I got a piece of anti-Semitic fan mail. My episode of Comics Unleashed aired last night, and I woke up to an email that said, "Saw you on TV last night. Since your career isn't going well, maybe you should try University of Phoenix. There's always room for people like you in business, I suppose." And so I had to assume the people like you in business was a slight of being Jewish. But here's the thing that I found funny. His first line was, "Saw you on TV last night. Since your career isn't going well." Hey, dumbass, you saw me on TV. I understand Comics Unleashed isn't the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson of yesteryear. Is it the greatest TV credit to have? No. But if you saw someone on TV, that means their career is doing just fine.
Noah, I literally thought it was going to be like, "Fuck you, dirty Jew, go to hell, burn in hell."
No.
You're like, that is the most wonderful news. If anti-Semitism can be go to business school,
Okay, so now that you reframe it, maybe
gorgeous.
maybe it was actually a fan
it was just your aunt.
who ran out of birthday card space. Honey, go to business school.
Yeah,
All right.
that is wonderful news.
All right, great. Nice reframing. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so Joke Yard. What do you got? And again, I'm going to remind you of the rules. One joke. And don't use my time during Joke Yard to pepper in other old jokes that you want to tell.
So it's an old joke. No, usually my old joke, I'll be like, "I really like it, but I know you don't." This is the opposite. I don't like it, you do. And it's never worked, and it's never...
Can't wait to hear this one.
It's that I grew up with a middle sister. There was a middle sister. I was the youngest, and she was really loud and angry about everything, and she was a bitch. And now she thinks she's a prophet. Now, I don't think so. But then the joke is like, we don't know what Gandhi was like growing up. Maybe he was a total douchebag to his brother. Gandhi came in my cereal again. Fuck you, Gandhi. Maybe Mother Teresa was like, "Shut the fucking door. Shut the door."
I do love this joke. So your sister, who is questionably unwell, occasionally has moments of feeling like she is
Prophetic.
a prophet. I like the joke specifically because of the premise. We don't know what these people who we hold in such high regard. I think it's brilliant to talk about. We don't know what kind of nightmare teenager Gandhi was. We don't know what absolute shit show teenager Mother Teresa is. I think that is such fertile ground for comedy, and I actually love how you already have it with Mother Teresa saying, shut the fucking door. I think that's really funny. The reason the joke has never worked, the Gandhi example you give is always too far. It's not working because you're saying, we don't know if Gandhi came in his brother's cereal. First of all, too far. Second of all, Gandhi famously didn't eat a lot, so maybe choose not a food reference. And third of all, no one wants to think about Gandhi coming in anything.
So can you write it for me?
Well, just pick any. Yes, of course, I could write it for you on the spot right now.
For my birthday.
For your birthday, I'll give you a card with the riddle to Gandhi. No, just pick any moderate example of Gandhi being an asshole
Gandhi
teenager.
headbutted me, smashed my face in the
Sure,
cake.
we don't know how many times Gandhi gave his brother a wedgie. We don't know how many times Gandhi
was the wet willy king.
Yeah, like, or it can be more aggressive than that. He can do something obnoxious or rude, but I think coming in his brother's cereal is a step too far. Otherwise, I love the joke. The joke being your sister thinks she's a prophet. You don't know if she is, but you also don't know all these other people that we hold in such high regards.
The reason if she is, let's just say my sister is a great spiritual leader.
The reason you discount it is because you know what a nightmare she was as a teenager.
Nightmare as a teenager.
I think it's a brilliant premise.
So
I love the setup.
Is there another spiritual leader we could give a nightmare as a teenager? Does it need a third? Should we do?
Well, spiritual leader
Martin
might be
Luther
a bridge.
King?
I was going to say you
but
could
I've
do
heard
MLK.
someone do Martin Luther King farted with the windows up. I think that was Sarah Silverman's joke.
Oh, well then let's avoid that one. There's the problem is, huh?
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, the issue is not that you're running out of historical examples to cite or that there's not enough examples of teenagers being assholes. It's that you chose the one specific verbiage of Gandhi coming in cereal that was just never going to work. That's my diagnosis of the joke. So
I'm excited about this birthday card.
Okay, so my joke yard, a premise, I've only tried once, and I have confidence in it. I was just too lazy to really take it to where it needs to go. But I had this thought about how people are constantly complaining about overpopulation and people are worried about overpopulation, and no one is acknowledging that the real overpopulation is happening in the cloud. It's not about the 8 billion people on Earth. It's about the 20 billion social media profiles that we have to interact with in the atmosphere.
Personal attack.
No, it's not about you. I'm saying like
I know. But I do take.
You think one person? You think one person on Earth is the problem? The real problem is the 4 different online versions of them I'm forced to see every day.
900 billion tetrabytes.
Yeah, I think there's something funny about like I can avoid this annoying person in my neighborhood, but for some reason I open my phone and I can't avoid seeing his Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest podcast.
Oh, I literally thought that you're talking about the world's worst problem that no one's talking about, which is that like the servers that need to keep cool.
I'm not getting into the actual ramifications of data and servers. I'm talking about the idea that my peace is being much more interrupted by the overcrowding of social media personas as opposed to actual people I interact with on this physical earth. Do you think there's anything?
So how do we kill them? How do we prevent, how do we delete everybody?
Well, I'm not.
You know what's really funny?
But I'm not trying
Put
to
your phone down.
Sure. But that's the thing is I'm not trying to get to a solution. My joke is not about like, how do we get rid of this overpopulation online? My joke is simply calling to attention that people are worried about overpopulation on Earth, but the real overpopulation that bothers me is happening in the cloud. So
here's my impression of everyone on planet Earth. We're doomed. We're doomed. Oh no, we're doomed. Oh, it's sunny. It's beautiful. Birds are chirping. Oh, we're doomed. We're doomed. It's like, put the rectangle down. Everything's wonderful. Unless you live in the 8 places that are being televised on your...
You're not helping me with my joke. You're not getting me to anything funnier. You're just telling me all the reasons why the joke won't work. You take yourself out of it. Like Louis C.K., it's really funny. He's like, there was some dumb idiot on the plane. He was the dumb idiot. So you take yourself out of the joke. You're like, there are people who are so worried about overpopulation, and then they go online and they post so much, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, put your phone down. You hate that. I don't think we cracked the code at all. I don't think that was helpful, but sound off in the comments. Email us at Against His Will Pod, and then listen to it on the cloud on Instagram.
What is funny about people overpopulation?
That's the point of Joke Yard, was to try to workshop something funnier. You keep on just trying to give me a solution to the.
I have an idea. You make fun of like the one person I don't mind.
See, now we're getting to something.
The one person I don't mind, but you on Halloween, you on that, you on that. It's
helpful.
Like copy and pasting 5 trillion times. So now every person on Earth is also multiplied into 5 trillion tetrabytes.
There you go. One person, like, I don't mind seeing you in person. It's seeing your picture on Halloween, seeing what you ate, hearing your thoughts on what you ate yesterday. That's much more annoying. Now you're overpopulating my thoughts. That's a funny breakthrough. Thank you.
7 billion people on Earth, no problem.
Four versions of Marty, a problem.
Yeah.
And I'm just throwing the name Marty out there. We actually only know one Marty, and he's a lovely guy. That wasn't about you. Just first name that came to mind.
Yeah, but if I have to see you on Halloween every year,
that's funny.
Put
Thank
a bullet
you.
in my head.
That was helpful. A successful joke yard. Thank you. All right. And I would say successful podcast, but now I got games to watch, and more importantly,
plug your stuff.
No, we don't have time to plug. I need to get the AC on.
No, hold on. Noah has a lot of very exciting things.
It has not changed.
You're going to Washington, D.C.
April 13th, D.C. Comedy Loft in Washington, D.C. April 14th, Wise Guys Town Square in Las Vegas. April 23rd, shooting my special at the Elaine Wolf Theater in Denver, Colorado. Quickly, plug, go.
I'm going to Florida in April. Check those dates out. And I'm performing with you at Wise Guys, Las Vegas, April 14th.
All tickets available at Punch Up Live. PunchUpLive.com/Noah Gardenswartz. PunchUpLive.com/Ester Steinberg. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, follow. See us on the cloud. Bye.